Good morning, friends. How's everyone doing on this Monday? Let's see, it is April 6th. It's Easter week. I'm kind of excited about Easter, as much as we can be. So, sometimes I like to start my day by drawing one of my animal cards. They're called Power Animal Oracle cards. It just kind of gives me something to contemplate for the day. And today I chose the bear. And what the bear says right under the word is boundaries. And the bottom says stand your ground. So I'm going to share the reading about the bear with you this morning before we get started with our physical practice. For you to be your complete self, you must not only define who you are, but also who you are not. It's only when you can say a clear no that you can say a clear yes. And both are equally important in defining where your edges are. Setting your boundaries in this way increases your confidence and sense of autonomy, and your choices become much clearer. This doesn't mean to always say no. It just means to be secure in knowing that you can say no. It's very tempting to succumb to others' demands and the various distractions that tempt you, as this often appears to maybe be the easier route to take. Yet in your heart of hearts, you know that you need to establish these boundaries and these limits to stay on your purpose. And remember, the only way that others can intimidate you is to deny your own power and operate out of fear. Instead, choose your own boundaries and come from a place of strong love. So when I got done reading this morning, kind of made me think about how right now during this time when we're in this isolation kind of period, that it's more important than ever to make sure and establish our boundaries about what we feel like doing and what we don't feel like doing. And no, we can't put everything off. We can't bury ourselves in a hole and say no to everyone and everything. But if you're having a rough day and you need to say no to some commitments, it's okay. We need, as I keep saying from I think my first live video, we need to be kinder than is necessary with ourselves, with our families, with anyone who's in our circle that we've allowed to be part of our circle during this social distancing. So set your boundaries and do the things that you need to do to help you get through this time. All right. So we're going to get ready for our physical practice. Before I step back, I'll say hi to Angie, Julie, and Sandra. Thanks for joining me this morning. And know that you can always go back and watch videos again if you liked the practice and want to do it again. So I am going to journey back to my mat. You might notice I kind of changed my background again. Keep trying to make it better and better. And my guy Jim also kind of set up some lighting up above a little bit, so hopefully the lighting is a little better. And we are starting in seated pose today. So you might notice that I prop my keister up on a blanket back here. So if you have a blanket handy, you can use that. Some people even sit on their block, and if you have a block handy at your house, you might like one for one part of the practice that we're going to be doing today. So again, just welcome friends. I miss you all, and let's go ahead and share a yoga practice together. We're going to start in this seated pose. I like to kind of cup my hands and let my shoulders relax. We're going to close the eyes, soften the eyes, relax your facial expression, and then come to the base of your spine, rooting through your sit bones, down into the earth, rooting deep into Mother Earth, growing those roots of security, and then bringing awareness to the top of the head, the crown chakra, reaching up toward the light, and have a sense of the opposition from grounding down deep into the earth below, but yet lifting up through the top of the head. And then maybe allow your chin to just tuck a little bit so that your head and neck feel comfortable and in alignment with your spine. And we'll start to breathe deep. As you inhale, let's take the air and take it up a tunnel all the way up into your third eye chakra. And then let it stream down the tunnel all the way down into the abdomen as you release and let go. Each inhale, feeling the breath rise up into that third eye chakra right between your eyebrows. And exhaling, surrender the air coming all the way down into the abdomen. Inhale, rising. Exhale, releasing. Continue to breathe deep. Centering ourselves for our practice. Bringing our awareness to the here and the now. Letting go of the external world the best that you can. Focusing on nourishing your body, mind, and spirit. And let's slowly and gently open the eyes, letting some light back in. Awesome. So I have some really fun socks on today. They're from my friend Jean Miller. I think they're poppy flowers, but they make me happy, so that's why I had to put them on. I might have to take them off when we start doing down dog and whatever, but thanks, Jean, for the lovely socks. So we're going to sit like this for just a little bit longer. So how about we switch the legs, switch the one that's in the front to the one that's in the back. And we're going to inhale all the way up to the top. On the exhale, we're going to release the arms, and then we're going to reach back until our fingertips find the floor. Then with an inhale, we're going to open our heart. So come into a little bit of a back bend, gazing up. And then on the exhale, push away and land at your heart. Let's go again. Inhale, upward arms, reach for the sky. Exhale, release, start to reach behind, find the earth. Inhale, come into that little bit of a back bend, roll the shoulders back. exhale, push away and land. One more, inhale, up to the top. Exhale, release, reaching behind. Inhale, open the heart. And exhale, close it up. Awesome. So if you are on a blanket, you might like to take your blanket off. And then let's just kind of lengthen those legs out, stretch them out a little bit after it being in that Sukhasana, that seated pose. And what we're going to do is bend the knees and swivel the legs over to the right-hand side. We're going to do a little rotating and lateral stretching here. So we'll start with the right arm, and we're going to inhale and rotate up to the left, look up, and then exhale, rotate back, let your head follow the hand all the way back. Inhale, sweeping up to the top. Exhale, back down and across. Inhale, up to the top. Exhale, release. I'm going to add one movement on here. Join me if you like. Inhale, and as I come up, I'm lifting my buttocks up off the earth. And exhale, rotate back. And then inhale, we're in the front. Let's bring the legs forward and then go ahead and switch. So now we've kind of swiveled the legs over to the left-hand side, and we'll repeat that practice. So we'll start with the left arm. We'll inhale and sweep up. And exhale, rotate and sweep and look back. Inhale, up. Exhale, back. Inhale, lateral reach. Exhale. And then maybe adding on your last one. Inhale all the way up toward the sky, buttocks and hips lifting. And exhale, release. And then we'll bring the legs back around. So I hope everybody enjoyed their weekend, got outside. I know I did a lot of flower bed cleaning and branch cleanup. We have so many branches. Let's go ahead and come to our table pose next. And we're going to play with the table a little bit today. So we're going to go from table to cow, table to cow, table to cow, and we're going to keep doing that for a while, just so that we can really feel the cow back bend between that and our neutral spine table. So we're starting in table. With our in-breath, we're going to let the belly release down, the pelvic region tipping up, and your heart and head lifting. Then on the exhale, I want you to come back to neutral spine, which is your table pose. Again, inhale, feel the belly drop. Notice the pelvic region. Feel your spine. Notice the shoulder, head, neck. Exhale, bring everything into neutral position. One more like this. Inhale, coming back to the cow. And exhale, we're in neutral table. Now we're going to do the same thing, but with the cat pose. So we're going to exhale as we pull the belly up, tuck the tail, tuck the head, and then inhale as we lengthen back to neutral spine table. Exhale, here comes our cat. Inhale, table. I know you want to go through to cow, don't you? Exhale. One more time, cat. And inhale. We're back at neutral. Let's take just a quick sit back into child pose, just in case your wrists were getting a little tired. So I'm going to rotate mine around a little bit while I'm here. And then let's go ahead, come on back up to table. Make sure your hands are rooting to the earth right below the shoulders and your hips are over your knees. Now we'll put the two together, so we'll bring our cow-cat together. On the in-breath, the belly is coming down. We find that back bend. On the exhale, the belly pulls up as we counter the cow with the cat. Breathe in, coming back to the cow. Breathe out, cat. Let's do two more on your own with your breath guiding you. We'll end in the table pose, and then we'll all meet sitting back, child pose, balasana. Go ahead and move your wrists around if you're like me. My wrists get a little tired sometimes. Touch a carpal tunnel. And then we'll come back up to table. So I'm going to just quick take my socks off because we're going to be approaching our downward dog. So if any of you are still wearing your socks, you might want to take those off. And I just want to do a check-in and say hi to Vicki, Austin, let's see, Debbie, Rogine. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Hello, hello, hello. All right, so we're back in our table pose. And as I said, we're going to come into down dog. So let's tuck the toes, lift the hips, draw those hips up and back. Now maybe you want to pedal those feet out, kind of like you're walking your dog. So you're just alternating, lifting one heel as the other heel lifts up. We're getting a nice stretch through the shoulders. Keep your breath flowing. All right, both heels are reaching back. We're going to inhale and bring ourselves forward to a plank pose. Now, if you like, modify, come on down to knees. Keep the shoulders over the wrists, and on an out breath, slowly release to the mat. Untuck your toes. Let's inhale up for our first cobra. Let's be gentle with ourselves. Listen to our bodies. No forcing anything. And exhale, release. Inhale, come up to table. Pose of the child is your exhale. Let's inhale, come on back to our table, tuck the toes under, exhale, here comes another downward facing dog. We're pedaling out those feet again, waking things up. You might notice when you pedal that you feel your hips kind of moving and grooving with you. And then both heels reach back. Again, we're going to inhale forward to a plank. Decide if we're coming to our knees. Keep the belly tucked in and your spine long as we exhale and release. Tops of the feet are grounded. Inhale. Let your elbows give yourself a hug as you rise for your cobra back bend. Let's exhale and lower. Inhale, table. Exhale, child pose. Inhale, let's come back to table. Spread those fingers apart, tuck the toes, and exhale. Downward dog. So with this downward dog, we're going to walk our feet up to our hands, coming into forward bend position. Be where you need to be. If you feel like you want to have a block there for yourself, grab one. Maybe you want to rest your elbows on your knees. Maybe you're starting to take it a little deeper. Now I'm starting to feel that yard work from yesterday, right where my hamstrings connect to my glutes. Ooh, tight, tight, tight. But it feels good to stretch it. Let's slowly inhale, making our way all the way up, upward arms and hands. And exhale, landing at your heart. Big inhale, all the way up to the third eye. Exhale, down to the abdomen. Again, inhale, up to the third eye. Exhale, down to the abdomen. Inhale, breath rising. And exhale, release. Let's let our hands and arms come down. Hands find the hips. We're going to move into warrior one. So let's start by just walking the right foot back 2 or 3 steps. So you want 2.5 to 3 feet distance between the front foot and the back foot. But remember on the warrior one, we're trying to keep our shoulders and hips squared to the front. So starting with shoulders stacked over the hips. And then as you bend into the front knee, it's right over your ankle. Check it out. And then your torso is right in between your legs. So you're not leaning forward or back. You're just smack dab right in the middle. Good. So on an in-breath, we're going to open into the cactus arms. So you'd look something like this. And then on the exhale, we'll bring it in together. On the inhale, let's open our hearts. And on the exhale, bring it in. Inhale, open your hearts. And exhale, bring it in and stay. Now, you don't need to rotate. I'm just going to rotate to show you what I want you to do next. Stay facing front. Bring your hands down to the heart. Let the elbows come out to the sides. So you're pressing the palms together, getting a nice wrist stretch. And then rotate your fingertips forward. And then rotate them in to point at your heart. Rotate away again. And in. One more time. Rotate away. And toward your heart. And then back to the top. Let it come down and settle. Let the hands come to the hips. We'll straighten the front leg and change our foundation. So the back leg, the hip, leg, and foot are all rotating open at a diagonal. So now we're kind of facing our long edge, but not all the way, because that's really hard torquing on your hips. So you're kind of facing the long edge at a bit of a diagonal. My shoulders are still over my hips, and we're going to work with triangle a little bit. So let's bring the hands to the hips. Start to tip left into the triangle. Maybe let your left hand slide down. That's a little support wherever you need to be. And then you can keep your hand on your hip, or maybe you're going to reach up toward the sky. Now Now, with an in-breath, lead with your center, and we're going to take it to reverse triangle. And we're going to go back and forth, kind of working our core here. So exhale, slowly make your way through, going back to that left side, and then all the way back up to the top. Breathe out, come into triangle. Breathe in to the top. Let's breathe out and release. Rotate the left leg, maybe rotate the right a little. So now we are facing the long edge of our mat. The hands are on the hips again. We're getting ready for our wide-legged fold. So let's exhale and start to hinge from those hips. Reach for the block, reach for the earth. If you need to keep your hands on the hips, that's fine. So what we're going to play with in this forward fold is turning it into the wide-legged down dog. So let's walk our hands forward 1 or 2 steps. And only do this if you want to do this. Every pose is optional. Let's shift our weight forward so our shoulders are over our wrists. And then on an out breath, shift the hips back. We'll rock back and forth. So let's inhale, come ahead, and exhale, take it back. Inhale ahead, exhale back, stay here and breathe. Start to walk your hands back into the traditional wide-legged forward bend. And then let's spin this around or rotate this around into the lunge pose. Now, you can have your back knee grounded or your back knee lifted. That's yogi's choice. We're going to add a rotation into this lunge. So if you have a block, you could set it on that right-hand side and prop your hand on it. Now we're going to take the left hand over to the left hip, and to do that, we're going to rotate through the torso. Now, if you like, you can bring that left arm up to the sky. A final option would be lifting that back knee. Now that's a lot of balance, so if that's too much, go ahead, come on back down onto the knee. Remember, the practice is for you, doing what makes your body feel good. If you're up, bring the knee down. Let's come back, hand to hip, and all the way back to our lunge. If you're using a block, scoot it out of the way because we are going to move to the plank again. Of course, you can feel free to drop down to those knees, and then we're going to lower ourselves to the mat. Let's inhale, rising for another cobra. And exhale all the way through to the down dog this time. Take a couple breaths here in your down dog. And then travel up to the forward fold. Again, let's take a few breaths here in the forward bend. Hi, Nicole and Jackie and Tammy and another Tammy, 2 Tammys, Elizabeth and Jane Olson. Hi, everybody. Good morning. All right. Let's inhale up from that ahead, reach for the sky like you mean it. Find a smile and land at the heart. Stay here. Inhale all the way up to the third eye. Exhale all the way down to the abdomen. Again, inhale up to the third eye. Exhale down to that core center. One more. Inhale. And exhale. All right, hands can release and come to your hips. So I'm going to switch ends so that your back, I'm not facing my back to you when we do our triangle. So we're going to start with the warrior one. This time it'll be your left leg walking back. Squaring the hips toward the front, shoulders over hips. Bending the front knee, stacking it over the ankle, and then finding those cactus arms again. On an out breath, we'll squeeze it together. And on an in breath, we'll open it up, shoulders are relaxed. Let's exhale, close it up. Inhale, open. Exhale, close it up and stay here. Just like on the first one, start to bring the hands toward the heart and then press the palms together. Let the elbows be pointing out to the sides so you'll look something like this. And then do a little more rotating with those arms. So you should feel this one in your shoulders, in your elbows, in your wrists, and then landing back at the heart, sinking it down, shoulders relaxing, and then let's release. We're going to change the foundation. The front right leg stays where it's at. The left hip, leg, and foot rotate open. So we're getting set up for triangle, and remember we're open at kind of a long diagonal toward that long edge. The legs stay pretty straight in triangle, but if you need to bend the front knee, go ahead. So let's tip to the right. This is our exhale. Let the hands slide down, and then maybe take that other arm up to the sky. Lead with your center, your core, as you inhale and reverse it all the way up to the top. Again, let's exhale, come through center, in that triangle. Inhale to the top. One more triangle. Exhale. Try to avoid locking your front knee. Needs to stay just a little bit bent. And inhale up to the top. Exhale, release. We'll rotate the feet and legs, setting up for our wide-legged fold. So if you're wondering how far apart your feet and legs should be, if you took your arms out, your wrists might be kind of over those ankles. But if for some reason that's too wide for you, no worries. Be where you need to be. Hands are on the hips. And let's exhale into another wide-legged fold. Again, you could have a block. You could rest your elbows on your knees. You could reach for the earth. So I'm going to let you choose to either stay in your wide-legged fold, or if you want to walk the hands away and do that wide-legged down dog like we did on side one, feel free to go ahead and move there. Take some deep breaths. and then go ahead and walk those hands in. Once again, we're going to rotate so the right leg is in the front. We're going to set up for another lunge with a rotation. So if you had a block or something handy on the left side, you could put your left hand on a prop. We're going to rotate right, bringing our right hand back to the right hip. We're going to take that arm up. If our shoulders are in the mood, you could keep your hand here and then decide if you're going to lift the back knee. Any variation is great. As long as we're here together, breathing and moving, it's all good. Let's start to make our way out of that lunge rotation. And then from here, we're going to go to the table pose. And then if you want to just sit back on your feet for a minute, we're going to be moving into our therapeutic back lift next. So this practice is all about both strength and flexibility in the low back. But when you think about it, your back is part of your core and it kind of wraps all the way around. So when we're in this practice, imagine that you're working the whole center, like there's an inner tube here around you. So we are going to come on to our front side for this practice. So let's make our way down to the earth. And we'll start in crocodile, which is just letting your elbows bend, let one hand rest on top of the other. The palms are facing down, and then let your forehead rest gently down on the back of that top hand. Take a couple breaths here in the crocodile. So start to pick up your head, and let's sweep the right arm back alongside our body, and then turn the head so that you're looking at your left elbow. So the side of your head is resting on the back of your hand. Now, if you're someone that this is uncomfortable for your neck, go back to having your forehead facing the back of the hand. So you can choose the head position either here or here. The right arm is resting, the palm of the right hand is facing upward. So let's slowly start to pick up our left elbow, our forearm, and then the hand. Feel the weight of the head. Continue lifting until the left side of your chest has risen off the floor. Your elbows kind of pointing up, and then exhale all the way back down. Good. Let's try it again. Inhale, starting at the elbow, then the forearm, then the hand. You should not be feeling this in your neck. Your head should be resting on the hand, and then exhale, release. Again, inhale from elbow to hand. The elbow is a little higher than the hand. The left side of your chest is lifted. Exhale, release. Good. Now, if you like, you can add the opposite leg. So that'll be our right leg. So on an in-breath, let's get the left upper body coming up, and then perhaps your right leg. On the exhale, bring everything back to the mat. Again, inhale your left upper body with your right leg, elbows a little higher than the hand and the head. Exhale, release. Inhale, up and hold. Exhale, release. We're going to return to the crocodile where we started. And then we'll sweep the left arm back. We'll be turning the head to the right. Remember, you can keep the head in neutral if that suits you better. And we're going to start with the second side. So on an in-breath, lifting the right elbow, forearm, hand and head. And on the exhale, release. Inhale, right elbow, forearm, hand and head, chest a little bit too. Exhale, chest, hand, forearm, elbow. Inhale, elbow, forearm, hand, head, chest a little bit. Exhale, release. You don't have to lift real high. Listen to your body. Inhale, one more with just our upper body. And exhale, release. Now, if you like, we can build in the left leg with the right upper body. Inhale, right upper, left leg. Feel the contraction in the back body. Exhale, release. Flexibility and strength. Inhale, right upper with left leg. Exhale, release. One more. Inhale, rising, brief hold. Exhale, release. Awesome, everybody. Let's come on back to crocodile. Center things out. And breathe. All right, let's make our way to table, and then we'll come into Balasana, our child pose, just to counter all that work we did on that therapeutic back lift. So go ahead, draw the hips back, and settle into that child pose. Take a few breaths there. Build up some energy, because we're going to do some core next. Hi, Kathy. And another Kathy. And another Kathy. Oh my gosh. Kathy Robinson, Kathy Champagne Brufak, and Kathy Dietz. Renee Falstead, hi. I miss my massages. I bet a lot of people do. Renee Falstead is an excellent massage therapist. All right, coming out of child. We are back up in table. So now we're going to work our core a little bit. It's called the crunching balancing cat. So what we're going to do is we're going to start by taking the right leg, extending it back, and then bringing it till it's about parallel with the earth. Then you're going to take your left arm and do the same thing. Now, it's crunching because we're going to exhale and bring our elbow toward our knee, and then we're going to inhale and extend everything back out. Exhale, come in. Inhale, take it out. You got it. Exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. One more. Exhale. Inhale and hold your balancing cat. Yep, you got it. Hold it there. Keep breathing. Tuck the belly in. And exhale, release. Ready for side 2. Extend the left leg back. Bring it up till it's about parallel. Right arm lifted. Head and neck in neutral. Exhale as elbow and knee come toward each other. Inhale as you reach and extend it out. Exhale, come in. Inhale, out. Exhale. Inhale. 2 more till our hold. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, hold. Reach and extend. Tuck the belly in. Head and neck neutral with spine. And release. Let's take another break in that pose of the child. Sit back. And then making our way up to table, and we'll have a seat on our seats. If you have water nearby and you want to grab a drink, go ahead. So this thing about setting boundaries for ourselves, I know that some of you have been asking me if I'm going to have a schedule, and right now I'm kind of saying no to that, because during this time, I don't know about you, but some days I'm having a pretty good day, and some days I'm kind of struggling a little bit. And it's easier for me to choose when I'm feeling like I can be up and be really present and put on a live Facebook. So I'm kind of setting a boundary where I'm just going to throw them out there probably a couple hours before, and if for some reason you don't catch it while we're doing it live, you can always watch it at another time. So for right now, I'm not setting a schedule. That's something that I'm saying no to. So anyway, we are going to continue here. And today, instead of doing our windshield wipers lying down, we're going to do them from a seated position. So what you're going to do is have your legs out front and your knees bent, but then you're going to take the feet and legs a little bit apart. And you can adjust the distance as you're doing these, so whatever is going to feel good for you. So I am going to let my legs drop over to the left and rotate to the left. And then I'm going to come through middle, and I feel like I want my feet a little farther apart, and I'm going to rotate to the right. And I'm going to come back through middle. So adjust your legs if you want them a little wider. And inhale, come back. Exhale, we're going right again. Inhale, come back and switch. Come on back through middle and left. Let's do one more on each side. So I wonder if Nita is doing yoga with us today with Tammy Sear. One more time over to the right. And then we'll land back at center and walk it together. All right. We are coming onto our backs. We haven't been there yet today. So let's go ahead and find supine. I'm gonna grab my shirt. I'm starting to get a little chilly here. If you are, go ahead and grab yours. All right. So we are coming on to our backs. If you're not there already, our knees are bent. Our feet are grounded. Ah, this feels pretty nice. So we are actually setting up for our bridge pose. So your ankles are kind of under your knees or pretty close to that, and your arms are resting next to your body. So we're going to start to ground through the feet and then lift those hips and roll up the spine. And then let's exhale as we lower, coming back to the earth. Again, inhale, rising, lifting. Exhale, release. Inhale, taking it up. Exhale and lower. Let's do one more. Inhale, up. Brief hold. And release. Let all the muscles go. And then we'll bring our knees up toward our heart. And first we'll just do a little bit of rocking from side to side. And then we'll land here and we'll start to draw the legs apart. Our hands are going to slide behind the thighs, behind the knees. And then our feet are going to look up toward the sky. Our knees are coming down toward the earth. And right now we're kind of in a modified happy baby, holding on behind the thighs. Now if you want to bring your hands up a little higher, but try to keep your shoulders grounded. Some of you might even come up into the feet. As long as you're not doing this kind of a thing and really causing tension up in the shoulders, head, and neck. So you want to let that upper body be relaxed. So if holding on here is better, that's fine. Hold on wherever you like. Good. Let's go ahead and close it up. Bend the knees. And plant just your left foot. And then take the right leg and just draw some nice circles with that right hip and leg. And go the other way. Giving our hips a little loving kindness here. Good, and plant that foot. Let's bring the left leg toward us. Go ahead and draw some circles. Feel free to hold on to the leg and guide your circles. And go the other direction. Bring that knee back in toward your chest and bring the opposite one up to join it. Holding onto your kneecaps, we'll draw some circles up on the ceiling. And go the other way. Go ahead, hug into yourself one more time. And then as you release one leg at a time, if you feel like there's a pose that you still want to sneak in, go ahead and do that. And the rest of us will all start getting ready for Shavasana. So I'm going to grab my socks and my blanket. Go ahead and grab yours if you like, because I want you to be cozy and warm. We are going to do a little bit of a meditation on our third eye chakra, the brow chakra, the one I've been kind of talking about throughout our class. So you are going to be laying down in Shavasana. I'm going to be sitting up so that I can read. But if you're new to Shavasana, you can either have your knees bent with your feet grounded. You could use your blanket for a little pillow. You could cover up with your blanket. Or if you want to have your legs long and extended, you could be here. Some people like to roll up some kind of a blanket or prop and just kind of have their knees be a little bit elevated. So I'm going to let you choose your Shavasana position and start settling into that. So feeling your body connecting to the earth below, starting to let all the muscles release and relax. Relax the eyes, the eyelids, closing those eyes very softly. Feeling the facial expression relaxing. A sense of stillness beginning to move through you. Let's bring awareness to that space between our two eyebrows, the third eye. It's associated with your pituitary gland, the eyes, and your brain. This chakra represents the element of light. It illuminates your self-knowledge, wisdom, intellect, and intuitive reasoning. The environment around us conditions us to lose our connection with our inner self, our true self. Our judgment and attachments block our ability to understand. It's like a layer of illusion often clouds the third eye, and we become less in touch with the here and now, the present. By meditating on the third eye, it helps remove this layer of illusion that covers the inner window of your wisdom. Bring your awareness to the breath. And just like we've been practicing, inhale up all the way into the third eye and exhale back down into the abdomen. As thoughts and emotions enter, accept them and continue to come back to your breath and awareness on the third eye. directing your attention to the space of the third eye. Allow a point of light to enter this space. Your attention becoming still at the third eye. Enjoy the focus that grows here. Let the light and all the sensations come to you. Immerse yourself in this light. You begin to shed the layers of illusion. Contentment begins to rise. A new perception of truth, wisdom, and knowledge reveal itself. With practice, the cloudiness of the thoughts and emotions dissolves. Leaving a sense of harmony, connectedness, and joy. Absorb the stillness. Absorb the light. Let it fill your entire being. Gently begin to wiggle your toes and your fingers. If you want to continue resting in Shavasana for a little while, go ahead and just keep resting. If you're ready at this point to make your way to seated pose, go ahead and do that. And if you like, you can bring your hands together in front of your heart center. Gently bow the head. In honor of our third eye chakra, open yourself to hear your inner guidance and to know your deepest wisdom. And as you listen to both that inner guidance and wisdom, remember what we talked about in the beginning about establishing boundaries so that when you need to say no, you say no. And when you're feeling enough strength to say yes, you say yes. Let's keep in mind that we want to be kinder than necessary to ourselves, to our families, and to all people and beings. Namaste. And I hope you enjoyed the practice. I miss you all. Bye-bye.